Guys, I'd like to start the podcast with a formal apology.
Yeah.
For last week.
Oh.
When I started singing the SpongeBob song.
Oh, and you also got it wrong.
I know. I was saying...
F-R-I-E.
Yeah, fire. F-R-I-E.
Yeah.
But do you see how it rolls off the tongue a bit more?
I get it.
I won't sing it
again. The
again.
most fucked up thing is that that has been in my head.
All week.
And I've been like in the kitchen going, because it would make me laugh that you got it wrong. So I was testing myself to see what was easier, the F-R-I-E or F-I-R-E, and because I only know that from you.
You've been saying it.
I've been saying F-R-I-E, and I'm like, oh, mate, you gotta switch this up. It's fucking in my head.
I knew that it was annoying when I was doing it, but I physically could not stop because I'm addicted to being annoying.
No.
But the thing that got me was Jarch and I went to the cricket in the weekend, and we were like, just yarning away, and then I said, oh, you know, the campfire song, or someone brought it up, and then Jarch looks over, and he just looks me dead in the eyes, and he goes, I had a lot of people message me about that, Lou. And I said, oh yeah, and he goes, they turned the podcast off. They turned it off. They turned the podcast off because I'm that annoying.
I had people DM me being like, hey bro, that was the first time I just had to switch the cunt off.
Yeah. And I thought, you know what, Louisa? Take a good hard look at yourself.
Hey, I respect that you've apologised to the bedwetters, noting that you've that maybe that was hyper fucking annoying.
Yeah. Well, I think the first two verses was probably fine and everyone kind of got into it. And then I think it's when I proceeded to do another 3 verses that's probably what fucked everyone off.
The first verse was okay.
Yeah.
It was passable. Second is where it really started to irk.
And then I decided...
Then you went third, and I went, she's going around the track again with this shit?
And then I went 4 and 5.
It was real aggressive, buddy.
I couldn't stop. Something came over me. SpongeBob came over me. Bye.
So you just apologised to everyone. You just apologised to everyone. You're bringing that fucking bullshit back?
I'm so sorry. I didn't do that last week.
You also just said SpongeBob came over me, which I couldn't let... I obviously couldn't let go.
Mate, that's a kid's cartoon.
It's your...
Could you just...
Well, don't talk about him like that.
We're what, 30 seconds into the podcast?
Yeah, I've already talked about cum and you've already done an annoying thing. Guess what? That's what we are. This is who we are, bedwetters.
That makes sense. Cheers to that. And we're drinking our coffees out of glass. We should touch on that as well.
Yeah, what's fucking going on?
So, okay, to all the baristas out there, if you're a barista, I'd like to hear from you in the DMs. I appreciate the double cup because a large long black is hot. It's hot. But...
undrinkable.
Why do they leak? How has someone... Also, copyright. I'm copywriting this right now. I'm going to make a double cup for baristas that doesn't leak. No one take this idea. It's copyrighted by Louisa Claire Daldin.
Well, don't make a double. Just make a thicker cup.
That's what I mean. They should just have a cup that's like, right, that's hot.
That's a long black cup.
Yes.
Because fuck me swinging.
It's dripped on me jeans. It's dripped on the couch.
I've never had one that hasn't.
Neither. Ever. You can't wear white wearing them.
No. I've had like chinos and a white shirt 9 o'clock in the morning in the bathroom patting myself down and then having to fucking put my shirt under a dryer because of a long black accident.
You little grub.
But it just...
You little pig.
I'm a little piggy.
Blink.
But like, you're dead right.
I know.
It's a real issue in this country.
It really is. I mean, we're hitting the hard topics today.
Correct.
You know,
look,
I have not read the news in 7 years, but I will tell you that this is hard-hitting content.
Now, Lou, usually I'm the one swinging in here with theories, but you've told me that you've got a theory you'd like to bring up on the pod.
I've got a theory.
Yep.
And I sort of briefly touched on it to you on Saturday night.
And I said, don't tell me.
We're very good at this.
Yeah.
Everything we do on the pod, we go, save it for the air. Save it for the air, guys. We like genuine reactions.
Correct.
So I've got a theory that because now you live in the city, you like think that you're this big dog farmer who grew up on the farms.
Yep.
But I don't actually reckon you worked on the farms.
How can you avoid that growing up on the farm?
Like I reckon you'd be out there with your dad.
Yep.
And he'd be like, oh, come on, like just like holding the like shearing machine with you, and you'd like go your hands over it together. And then like I reckon that's the reason you dress real country now, because you like want to, you know, like don't want to stick to the status quo. You want to stick with this like farm persona.
Okay. Yeah, look, not accurate, but I can see why you would think that, because you are like a city kid or whatever the fuck you are. You think that wearing like boots, jeans and a T-shirt is like real country. Mate, when do I wear like big buckles?
I've seen you in a buckle a few times.
I promise you haven't.
Well, you always talk about, what are those hats called? The swindlers, the swiners.
The Cobras.
The Cobras. You always talk about, I'm going to chuck on this swindler, my Cobra.
I'll give you that tip. I've never announced that I'm going to chuck on a hat.
No.
Where?
I'm pretty sure you said it at the Roho on Saturday. You said something about you can't wait to wear your camp Cobra.
No, I got a brand new cutter, a beaver felt cutter.
Yes, that's what you're talking about.
So I'm just telling you I got a grouse new hat.
Yeah, but I reckon it's my theory that it's like you want to stick out from the crowd in Sydney, and you want to over exploit your roots.
I don't care about it. It's just who I am. It's as simple as that. Mm. And yeah, look.
But that's like me coming from.
But I would stick out in Sydney irrespective of.
That's like me coming from New Zealand and just wearing like All Blacks merch.
It's completely different.
Or like
it's not a scene, is it?
Shorts.
It's not the country isn't a scene. It's a place that you're from.
Yeah. So tell me, how old were you when you first sheared a sheep?
I don't shear sheep.
There you go.
We always
Bam! There's my theory. Done.
But we'd always have shearers.
Theory.
We'd have shearers.
So what would you do that was farm-like?
Everything else.
What?
Fencing, mustering.
Yeah.
Well, we were growing up as kids, like when we were little kids, because we always had big Kiwi shearers, actually. We were kind of like the rouseabouts. So that means like cleaning up the wool, all that sort of shit, putting into the press.
So stuff that I could probably do. Yes.
Truly, I believe that I would be more useful as an 8-year-old boy than you would be as a 28-year-old fucking man. I believe
not
that.
8-year-old me to help the leftover food. Though.
Oh yeah. If it was about cleaning up the leftovers from Christmas lunch. Yeah. If it was cleaning out the troughs, just send Lou in, mate. She'll fucking clean them out. but it wasn't like it was. I feel like I'm a healthy mixture of both. I feel like moving to the city truly generated, because when I grew up in the country, outside of a town of 1,800 people, I was always jealous of cunts that had like a McDonald's and a cinema, and like you'd watch American movies and people would have neighbours and shit. I'm like, fuck, that'd be cool. So growing up, I was always kind of like, I'd like to go to the city. And then when I moved to the city, it generated a great amount of perspective of like, oh, I fucking hate it here. But I was sort of stuck here by necessity, and I have been. That's why I've been dipping out. The last decade, when I started in media, I was in media for like 2.5 years. Then I took a job in Mittagong as a logistics manager for a furniture company. So I did that for 2 years, and I was sort of out of the city, came back for 4, then went back, worked on the sheep station. Now I'm back.
So what did you do on the sheep station when you went back?
Well, everything.
So you were shearing?
No, they had shearers.
I'm trying to be Tracy Grimshaw here. Like I'm literally trying to
find the
hole.
I was trying to find the hole. You just do everything. But like that was all I knew growing up. Me and my granddad used to be contract fencers, so we go out and just fucking build fences for cunts. Like there's levels to this shit.
You're saying my theory's wrong.
I'd say your theory is wrong. Because you see me wearing like boots and you go, fuck, that's country, but that's just really like normal. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose.
For people where I'm from.
So you would never, what's the word? Wear more city appropriate clothing.
I do, but let me tell you something. You might be half onto something, because I remember growing up, like all my mates, pretty much they just wore boots, jeans, button-up shirt. And I was sort of privy to that a little bit, but I also wanted to go with the fucking trends at the time, because I was always like, I want to look back at photos and be like, the fuck were you wearing, mate?
Yeah.
You know, or like, what was that haircut? Or like, I was like, I want that. Then I remember saying, I'd be like, I'll get to a point where I'm just like happy, I don't care anymore, and I'll just wear boots, jeans, and a fucking t-shirt.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
at
you
that
wore
point.
boots on Saturday night to the cricket.
Well, that's just what I wear. I grew up on a farm, so I've done all that shit.
done
I've
farm
worked on
things.
farms all my life,
So
but
you're
I am not a farmer.
We'd call
Yeah,
you
I'm a happy medium.
We'd call you a funtry
Fun country.
because you're a farmer in a country.
Fitty.
We'd call you a fiddy
A fitty.
because you're a farm boy and a
farm in the
city boy.
Yep.
We'd probably call me a fiddy too because I've done my fair share of farm excursions back in New Zealand.
Excursions. So
Yeah.
you reckon that makes you half-half?
Yeah. I went to this place called the Hunterville Chamals where I think they'd race sheep or dogs or something, and it was like a big hoorah. Bit of a shindig in a tent, you know?
You know what's funny is when you move to the city from the bush, you don't realise how country you are to other people without even like when we go to like the local shows and shit, we grease up. I remember winning the competition where you grease up a pig and you got to catch a pig, right? And that was normal to do. And I remember winning it at the Gyra show. Blah, blah. And
Excuse me.
I'd tell
Sorry. So there's a pig running around, and you're
like a little sucker
and you're like running around this like
They grease it up.
trough, and you're trying to catch it.
in the showground. They grease
So
up. this
that's
pig.
like your equivalent to like a carnival. Like people do those things
Yes.
where you bang on the hammer and
Yeah.
it goes up the top.
Yeah.
You're trying to get a little greased up piglet.
Like the country. I love country shows.
I'd like to go to one of those.
Yeah, they're hyper
I think I'd be
nostalgic.
quite good at the piglet.
What's she done? Bedwetters.
I've done it again. But I just think
No, let's break it down.
I think I've got quite a good eye for,
But how athletic are you?
Look, I mean, I didn't do many contact sports growing up.
Okay.
And when I did do a contact sport, I was the goalie for hockey.
Yeah.
And that's purely because we got McDonald's after the game.
Yeah.
And then I did cycling, which is like individual. And then I did figure skating, again individual.
Figure skating?
Yeah. I was a little porker and did a routine in a bright lime green.
No, you fucking
A
didn't.
bright lime green leotard to Toxic, Britney Spears.
God.
Taste of your lips, and I'm got spinning around like
No, you fucking didn't.
Yeah.
Is there footage of this?
probably.
Please, Lou.
Jill got made like this full blown, like I think it was lime green and pink leotard with a little skirt.
No.
And I'm going backwards, like how you go backward and
Is
then
this
they like
Is this peak chub kid?
huge.
Oh, bruh. We need to find that.
I know. Mum will have it somewhere. If not, she'll have
Jill.
photos. And yeah, I had to pick a song and I picked Britney Spears Toxic.
Toxic.
So I'm like, you go backwards like this and then you do like, leaps and that kind of thing. So I'm going, the taste of your lips and dancing around.
I fucking love it.
I'm pretty sure as well there was like Friday night figure skating that I'd go to as well. Just like a disco. And like I'd like rock up on my own and like meet other people.
What the
Can you just imagine me turning up in my leotard like with my roller skates under my arms? Like, do I know anyone? Oh, there's Bridget. Bridget! I'm just going to put my leotard on.
Yeah, good theory. Probably half on the money, half not.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm a happy hybrid, but I'm definitely...
Well, when I come to Walker, I'll be able to see your true potential of how you farm,
Yeah,
And I'll rate you out of 10.
thanks. That'd be really good. We'll go out fencing.
Is that when you go,
Yeah, no, that's you go out sword fighting.
that's what fencing's called, mate, and they wear the white masks and they go,
I understand, but many things can have many of the same word can have different meanings. Fencing is just simply building a fence.
oh, I could do that in my sleep.
We'll see.
Hammer away with it. Bang, 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 bang. Couple of nails. Dum, 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 dum. Few spanners.
No nails. Star pickets and wire.
Oh, so you get those machines that go and it goes kind of like a electric stapler. You know the ones?
Yeah, I do.
No?
Just by hand.
Yeah, so you'd need a hammer and nails.
You don't need nails.
Why not?
Look, I could.
No, why not? Why don't you need nails? See, you're lying. He's lying. I've caught him.
Because
Theory's
you put-
right. Bang. Sold. Segment done.
Where are you putting the nails? If you got star
Well-
pickets and wire, where are the nails going?
Mate, you obviously got you got a piece of wood here, and
You
then you
don't
got
have
two.
wood.
And you got two
Metal
horizontal.
and wire.
What? So you put wire all around the fence?
This is what I'm. You can't.
That is painful for when the sheep run into it.
You don't know what you're talking about.
That's painful for the sheep running into it, Judge.
No, it's not.
Agree to disagree.
Okay, good. What genre? 2000s pop, Britney Spears-esque.
Okay. Red light, green light.
Yeah, that was your best.
Pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'm happy with it.
Bet the singing teacher will be listening to that.
Luke Manaford sent one in. A red light,
okay.
green light.
So it's from a bedwetter?
Yeah, from a fucking fellow bedwetter. Eating on the shitter.
Red.
I'm red. I just don't know why you need to be consuming.
So like he's taking a shit
And
he's
having
eating a sandwich.
having a feed. Yeah, like having a sanger. So you're putting shit in as shit's coming out, literally. It just seems to me.
Could you not just wait?
Like, give it 2 minutes.
Luke, just hold fire for 2,
Well,
mate.
can I preface? I don't know whether Luke is
He didn't
red
say.
or green.
Look, I reckon if he's sending it in, he's green.
I think he's green.
Luke, you're sick. Just do you know I will?
But also,
do you have will you have like a drink in the shower though?
yeah. I'll have a beer and
Yeah.
I'd have a beer. You know, I'd probably.
Although
I'd take a schooner into a pub bathroom if I was going to
take a shit.
drive one out at the pub, and I just put the schooner like next to me on the thing, and I might consume that, but
I think a drink's a bit different taking a poop.
it is.
I think imagine eating like a sandwich or like a
peanut
hot
butter
dog.
sandwich, a hot dog, and you just like shitting and eating. Like, what's
I will
doing?
say though, if I'm getting ready on a Saturday night and I'm doing my makeup, I will have a drink there, and like, so that will be on like the cabinet, you know, like the sink.
Yeah,
That's play on.
that's fucking play on.
Yeah.
I think eating and shitting is probably a big red light for me.
I would say
There's
that's
poo particles in the air.
Yeah.
It's seeping into your peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah.
It would actually probably make me fucking sick.
Imagine if he had like a bowl of noodles, or like eating a ramen.
Mate.
Eating a ramen, trying to take his shit.
Fucking hell. Like, what's doing? Surely you're not that time poor.
Luke, I'm sickened by you.
Yeah. I
on,
respect the
Luke.
hell out. I respect it.
Yeah, Luke, DM us and tell us what you're actually eating on the
But
toilet.
mate, surely you could just give it fucking 2 minutes.
Just give it 2, Luke.
And if it is that urgent, put your fork down and go and do what you need to do and just come back to it.
Yes, leave it in the kitchen.
You know what I mean? Okay, I'm glad we agree on that one.
Red light, green light. Picking your nose
Green.
and eating it.
Fucking red.
So you're not an eater.
I never have been, or it's always
Where
fucking
will you-
disgusted me.
Where will you put the boogers?
I'm a pick and flick.
So you'll pick the bogies
Yeah.
and then flick them.
Yeah, I'll vacuum it up later. I'll pick.
Like how deep are you going for
I'd
a
pick every. I reckon. I'd argue I'd pick every day.
Can I say something? People who say they don't pick their nose, you're lying.
Yeah.
Like, you know you have a little dig every
Are you
now
going to
and then.
wait till you get home and get the tissues and blow it, are you?
Like, no, you're
Ah, the
having a dig.
bullshit.
I, the other day, had a full blown, I hadn't left the house. I was wandering around the house for like a solid hour.
Cunt, you could get a fist up your nostrils. You're not picking your nose, you're grabbing your nose.
I had a little bogey just sitting there.
Did ya?
For like a solid hour.
Did ya?
I went to the bathroom and went, holy shit, that's a bogey. That's a little bogue.
Were you out?
I hadn't gone outside, thank God. I
Christ.
was just dropping laps at my home.
My little brother Henry was a real pick and eater. A real pick and eater.
I think a lot of people still are.
But he took it to a new level.
Well, he'd save them.
I think he got so sick of picking and eating. So we used to go play tennis, go to tennis club as a kid, right? And while some people are playing tennis, others will run around playing tip and shit, you know, like. And I remember walking into the tennis club, maybe to get a fucking icy pole or something like that. My little brother's at the window. He would have been 6, 7, right? He's at the window, looking at the window like this. And I see him go, slams his hand on the window, big blowfly, gets the blowfly, picks the wings off. And I'm like, what is this cunt doing? And then he just goes, and ate the fly. I was like, can't. Yeah, it was like, you know how it's like serial killers.
And he would have just not thinking anyone had seen him. And he's just like looking around.
And I've just watched the whole thing. Just watch him stalk a fly. Boom, big blowy. Wings off. It was like picking his nose and then it wasn't good enough, so he had to upgrade, like how serial killers like hurt animals and then they upgrade to humans.
Yeah.
Henry went from snot to flies.
He's going to hate you for telling that story.
Yeah, sorry, Brad.
Absolutely hate. To be honest, look, I'm green light for picking your nose.
Yeah, mate.
Like, don't go, maybe not in like a meeting with your boss. But
No,
like,
time and a place.
Time and a place for a little picky pick.
Everyone's picking.
Like, and also sometimes, sometimes you're like, oh, what's going on? And you just got to brush, like
well, mate,
scratch
sometimes
around.
it's one of the greatest feelings of all time.
I'd say
Sometimes you get like a real
better feelings than picking your nose.
There certainly is, but sometimes it's so satisfying. Like, I enjoy it. I'm so green on picking your nose.
You're like almost like getting off to picking your nose.
I'm as stiff as a board as we speak. And no, I know that's inappropriate and I apologise, but I can't help it.
He loves a nose pick.
All right, red light, green light. Dirty talk in the bedroom.
Green.
Yeah, I'm green. Dude, do you want to know?
But depends who the person is and to the extent.
Yeah, like, I'm cool with it. I like it. But I also equally like taking the piss out of it. Like, so, like, I'll do this to Steph. Like, say she's in the kitchen, like, at the bench with her, back turned. I'll walk up and, like, put my arms around her. I'm like, I'm going to throw you around like a wet towel in the local aquatic centre, you silly bitch.
Is she just like, get the fuck off
She's
me?
just laughing because like dirty talk, when you think about it, is it's fun, but it's like when it's all over and stuff, you're like,
whoa,
that's pretty wild.
What happened there?
And
it's like it's got to be with the right person. Like, how some people may come on like a bit hot with it, and you're like, okay,
yeah, woo up.
Let's take a step back, mate, and just hold fire on that phrase, perhaps.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
and I feel like it's kind of better when you're in a relationship with someone.
Yeah, with more comfortable.
I mean, if someone did that to me on a fling or whatever, I'd probably be like, okay.
Yeah, just let's tone it.
Simmer down a little bit, shall we?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Some people absolutely hate it.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah.
I get around it though.
It has to be with someone you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like, there's a time and a place for dirty talk.
Yeah. But I think it's funnier to make it so mundane and stupid. But that's more of a joke.
Yes.
More of a taking the piss out of the fact that, like, we probably do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want it, you ever get, obviously I'm really good at dirty talk.
Yeah,
it's almost like the awkward. You know what would be funny is doing it.
And then go,
hey, she's like, talk dirty to me. And you're like, hey, you ever get, you like that.
Did you?
You just start patting, you just vomit.
Red light, green light, picking a wedgie out in public.
I feel like I've become pretty good at it.
I'm full blown green, but like I try to be subtle, and it's quite hard when you're in that active wear and you're wearing a G-string, and then I'll kind of like, I've got this sort of like.
Oh, I know.
Where you've seen it.
No, obviously. When I'm in my active wear, wearing my G-strings, I get it.
But I'll like kind of like, so, you have a look around, see who's around the premise. Can I get it out where there's no cars coming or there's no people? And then I sort of do this like where I get on my tippy toes a little bit more, and I'm like,
yeah.
And then get it.
Yeah.
It's even worse. Sometimes you'll grab the wedgie and you've put it in an even more uncomfortable position.
See, I feel like I've got to the point where I don't even need to use my hands.
Oh, and you've just got buttocks muscles.
I've got this thing where I can work it out.
You can shimmy around.
But I'll pretend. So I do a thing where I pretend to look around like I'm looking for someone. So I'm walking along. I'm like, oh, she's up there. I'm like, that's pretty wedged up. And so I'll have my phone out like this, looking at my phone. Then I'll like look up and like look around and take a step.
Where are they?
I'll take a step to like the side, pop it. I'm like, oh, I better keep going. So it just looks like I've
you
turned
reckon
around.
the leg pop is the way to go?
Holy dooly.
Might give it a hoon.
Mate, give it a hoon.
Might give it the old hoon, the old leg pop.
See if you can do it, but I think I've mastered the craft.
Okay.
So it looks like, this guy's just looking for his mate, obviously. Like his mate must be around here. Nah. I'm popping wedge.
It's hard when you got a G-string right up your ass.
Yeah, I guess it would be tough. I've never had to deal with that.
Give it a go, maybe. You give that a hoon.
I don't know how a G-string and me would go.
I'll do the leg pop. You do the old.
Well, you wear some boxer briefs.
I used to wear it was like the cool thing to do when I was like 12, nearly going into high school, under our school skirts.
Yeah.
Everyone was wearing like silky boxers.
Dude, the silkies were the fucking shit.
Yeah. I had like Looney Tunes ones.
Same.
Hey.
I had Tasmanian Devil ones and
Bedwetters
fucking...
I was a Tweety girl. No, was it?
Yeah,
Is that his name?
Tweety Bird, yeah. I had
What was the other one? The one who...
Dragon Ball Z, maybe. Which one?
No, who was the other one? The other big one. Not
Big-
Daffy.
What, fucking Bugs Bunny?
Goofy.
Yeah.
Bugs.
Goofy
Bugs.
Bunny.
Bugs was the main one.
Yeah. I had Bugs Bunny ones. Yeah, no, silkies were the shit. I didn't realise silkies were cool for girls too.
For some reason, we thought it was cool to wear them under our school skirts.
We used to wear the SMP belts, the baggy pants, like the fucking skate shoes, the silkies hanging out because your pants were real low. That was cool.
Okay, so you weren't always wearing jeans, tops, and
I told
boots
you.
on the
I was
farm.
a trendy cunt.
Caught him again. Theory's right. You're wrong. Eat shit. Sorry, I'm right. Caught him.
I
Back
told
to
you,
just
I was a
being
trendsetter.
That you're no longer a fitty. You're no longer a farmer and a city boy. I've caught you.
I'm a fitty.
Caught him out. Caught him out.
Because I wore jeans.
Yep.
With
And skate shoes.
Skate shoes.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't do that if you were from the farms and you were a real farmer?
You would.
Oh, caught him. Got him. I have told this story on the radio before, and I know that you will appreciate it so much.
Yep.
It's like one of those stories where it's sort of done the rounds and you're like, is it true? Is it a myth? You know those kind of stories that everyone's like, oh, I've heard this story.
Yeah.
It's one of those. So a friend of a friend lived in an apartment in Melbourne, and it was quite like a fancy apartment, and they had like a door. Are they called like concierge?
Yeah.
Where they like open the
stand at the
Yeah,
doors.
so they had one of those. So it was like a pretty fancy place, and she'd just moved in. She was living on her own 1-bedroom apartment, and she was going to work and then noticing she'd come home and like random things would be moved. Like she'd leave a mug like on her bedside table, and it would be like out in the kitchen, or like her pillows would be in a different
She lived by herself?
She lived there by herself, and she'd be like, the pillows would be in a different position and shit like that.
That's fucking...
Yeah, and so she was like, what? This is weird. She's like, what is going on? She told everyone at work, and they were like, why don't you get one of those little cameras that you can set up so that you can see what's going on? Because she was like, is it like a ghost? Is someone like sneaking into my room? Like, what's going on? So she sets up one of these little cameras in the bedroom, because this is where most of the stuff keeps being randomly moved. And it's connected to her phone. So she'll get like a notification when it's like, bing, someone's in there, or like something's going off. So she's at work, and the phone goes like, bing, goes off. And she opens up, like she gets all of her workmates to come gather around, see like what's going on the phone. And she opens it up, and the doorman, the concierge, is having a threesome in her bed. Is having a threesome in her bed.
Whoa, that became way more awesome than I thought it was going to be. I thought he was going to be like a creep.
No.
He was just fucking ploughing.
Because I think that's
Why
like
hers?
I don't know. I think people have fetishes of like doing it in places you could get caught.
What were the birds like? Were they hot?
I didn't see the footage. This is like one of those myth stories.
Oh,
like a
Maurice.
friend of a friend told me, you know?
Yeah, gotcha. Oh, so it wasn't your mate.
No, not my mate.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't me. I wasn't involved with the
Fuck,
doorman.
go the doorman.
No, mate.
What?
That's so fucked up.
It is hyper fucked up, but like props.
Well, he got fired.
Yeah, but
He probably kept doing it elsewhere.
probably did. Like, I'm half here. I'm like,
Oh, you approve of it?
no, I don't approve of what he's done in her apartment.
Your brain goes straight to like that part of the story. Mine's just more like this poor girl.
The desecration of her private space. Absolutely, and I completely agree.
You've just like gone, like forgotten what's happened to this poor girl's like bedroom, like her whole, like what the fuck's going on. You've just gone, good on the doorman.
Call me Natalie Imbruglia because I'm torn. I'm like, It's fucking tough for me here because I'm like, props.
How are you torn on this? The poor girl is watching with her workmates the doorman have a threesome in her bed.
I know. It's fucked up, but it's impressive.
I don't even reckon you're torn. I think you're 90% with the doorman.
No, I'd say I'm 50. I'm 60-40. I'm 60 on her side.
Crook.
I'm 40% going, props, bro. Because that threesome is impressive.
You're absolutely
With
crook.
2 chicks.
Well, again, one of those stories where it's like friend of a friend told me, but she moved out. He got fired.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Not where you expected the story was going?
No. I thought it was going to be like a Jeffrey Dahmer situation where he's like walking in and like licking her cup. You know what I mean? Then leaving it down and then like sniffing
Taking
her
your
pillows
undies.
and probably like doing weird shit. No. So that's why I was expecting some real fucked up shit.
Well,
And then
I'd
you
say
told
what
me it
he
was an
did is still pretty weird.
Yeah, but he just...
Josh is just going, oh, no, it's play on now. Yeah, righto. They would have all been in on it, I reckon.
Excuse me, Tonke.
Excuse me.
It's okay.
Excuse me, senorita.
Excuse me.
Hello, Tonka.
Excuse me, what are you doing? Who's that? Excuse me, senorita.
Hello.
What are you doing? Oh, I know. The sound he made. Donkey.
Excuse me, senorita.
Senorita.
Senorita, what do you think of a threesome?
Excuse me. Oh, he's a good boy.
Yeah, so
Far out.
moral of the story,
Become a doorman.
no, don't have threesomes in apartments that aren't yours.
Doormen get laid. Doormen are out getting it.
You jump straight off the podcast onto Seek. Hey,
I've now quit my job.
What options are on here?
I'm now the concierge at the Hilton for any bedwetter listening. It's good stuff.
I love telling that story because I love the reaction. Like everyone's face is just like, what?
Well, yeah.
What's going on?
100%. Because you hear those yarns, you know the ones you've heard about fucking like the guy that went home. It's like I was a friend of a friend with this bird and she was super hot. But then he was like, why the fuck is everything covered in plastic? And she just started shitting everywhere. You not heard that one? That yarn? And it was always like, and I was sort of like, have you not heard that one?
No.
He's like in bed.
I understand it.
No.
was
She
about to
didn't
say-
shit everywhere.
He.
The bed, everything was covered in plastic. He's like, oh, this is a bit weird. She might just be a germaphobe. This is a bit odd. And then she starts doing a little bit of downstairs play. And he's like, okay, I'm not adverse to this. I'm going to start drilling. And then she's like giving it to him. And she hits some button and he uncontrollably excretes. And then he's like, what the fuck? And then she just forgets that he's there and is rolling around in his excrement. And then he kooks it and leaves. That was a famous friend of a friend yarn that we always got told. By the way, friend of a friend, yeah.
Yeah. Well.
It was me. You never heard that one?
No.
Threesome one's quite
I
a lot
almost
nicer.
wish that I hadn't heard that one. I mean, I almost wish that was perhaps kept in your brain.
I had to share.
I mean, when you first started, I was going, I understand the plastic bed sheet because obviously as bedwetters we have those.
Correct.
So I could get around it.
That's
then,
what wrote me in, yeah.
Oh, is it? Is that what wrote you? Anyway, swoosh. Next segment.
Or
I don't want to
have
know
you been
another.
practicing your Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah,
You haven't.
a little bit. I think I did it a couple times in the car the other day.
That's all I've done. We need to be better.
Mate, I got a lot going on. I got drama class. I got bloody singing practice. Now you're trying to get me to do a Samuel L. Jackson impression?
Well, give us your Samuel because this was something.
I am sick and tired of these motherfucking snakes in this motherfucking plane.
You went straight into it. The drama class has been doing you well. Go again.
I am sick and tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's all right.
Pretty good. Here we go. Go on, upstage me. Like every other week.
No, yours was pretty good. I'm obviously going to do Pulp Fiction. Samuel. Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time.
Pretty good. I'd say a tie.
I say I get the chocks. I reckon I get the chocks there.
Fine, you can take the favourites home this week. But next week I'm coming.
Yeah, well, we've got a few.
I'm coming for you.
So all you bedwetters, send in the impressions. They will obviously become more intricate and more well-versed. That was probably the first go. Wasn't our best.
No.
But we...
Do you know we should do Creed next week? With arms wide open.
I beat you.
And on a sun I say,
Okay. I apologise. Bedwetters.
What's the other song
That
they
was so
sing?
close to
She
another.
fucking hates me.
That's not fucking Creed.
No.
That's
Blur?
Nah.
I used to love Blur. What was that song they'd sing?
No. What? Blur.
Was it Blur? And they had that like, song. Remember my brother used to always listen to it. He had like a downstairs bit where he'd play like his bass and electric guitar with his mates, and they'd always play that song. And I'd kind of like lurk around like, can I come hang out, guys? And I'm like, fuck off, Lou.
Head down the
Band
toilet.
practice time.
What did they put up your nose again?
Carrot sticks.
Fuck, that's good.
It's the Bedwetters Hotline. Now, I haven't listened to any of these.
Okay.
Yeah, g'day, weapons. It's the Cronulla Bedwetter and the Piedmont Bedwetter here.
Hi.
Look, we've been gussing up your podcast all afternoon. It's the Piedmont Bedwetter's birthday today. And, look, everyone's really proud of your work, eh? They're proud of the hinge notes. They're proud of the green light, red light. And, look, everyone's fucking getting around it. So, do we get a shout-out on the old fucking potty
Fucking
for
oath, Brad.
promoting the podcast? Is that a go? Anyway, love what you're doing, legends. Give us a shout out. Love you to death. Bedwetters for life, baby. Let's go.
Love this.
Fucking love you too. What was the Cronulla
The
Bedwetter?
Cronulla
and
Bedwetter and the Piedmont Bedwetter.
Piedmont Bedwetter.
I love how she's just like, hey.
Do you know what I did? What
Amazing.
surprised me was that she was a female.
Why?
It was just like, yeah, Cronulla Bedwetter, you mate. And then it was like the Piedmont. She's like, hi. I'm like, because generally you'd think that women wouldn't want to be associated with
Mate.
bedwetting.
The entire podcast, all I've ever said is that I wet the bed, and now you're telling me I probably shouldn't be associated with it? Awesome.
I love it.
Proud to be a bedwetter. On your
oath.
Piedmont Bedwetter.
Fucking great message, mate.
All right, what do we got here?
We love you guys.
Hey, you Chav Bedwetters. I've got a life hack for you. So, since I was a peeputter, I was always getting fines, speeding fines and parking fines and whatever. And my life hack is, well, this works in Victoria so far. I've got about just over $3,000 in fines. If you put your fines on a payment plan, the minimum is about $13, $15 a fortnight to pay off your fine. They can't issue the points off your license until that fine is paid. So once one fine's paid off, finally it's worth $300-400. It'll take you another year or two to pay the next one off,
Didn't know that.
which by then you earn your points back. So far, I've lost about 30 points until I'm a driver's license.
That is
That
fucking...
being said, I did go and get a Queensland license, so I can also keep my driver's license. Life hack.
Phenomenal. Fuck,
Okay.
that's great.
Explain it to me.
Well, I thought he
I
was
don't
just
get it.
saying what I said, which is park anywhere you want, fucking pay off for
Yeah.
whatever.
I thought he was taking the piss out of you. I was like,
Same.
brilliant.
I was like, this is fucking good. I was like, you thought he was going to call me a fuckwit. But so what he's saying is you get a fine and the points don't come off until the fine is sorted. But if you put it on a payment plan, then the points don't come off. So he's lost like 30 points, but he keeps putting them on the payment plan, pre-losing the points. And then the points never get taken off his license.
All I'm hearing is points. I'm lost.
Okay, good.
Not a hack for me, hack for you.
Great hack.
One more?
Yeah.
One
fuck.
more from the Weddies.
Love the bedwetters.
Lou, Jacko. Lou, a bit rough on the singing. Just because you got a head like a time machine doesn't mean you're a singer. Jacko, you're a mad cunt. See you.
Excuse me. Excuse me. What does that mean, a head like a sewing machine?
You know what? I feel like it's a compliment. Head like a sewing machine. Maybe because you just fucking
Talk all the time, non-stop.
You
Go,
don't
go,
shut the
go.
fuck up. You never shut the fuck up. Oi!
Sorry.
Fucking hell, mate. We got headphones on too. That fucked me off. Fuck, I love the hotline.
Yeah, it's
Keep
good.
calling. Hey, what's the we got the number. The number for the hotline's on the Instagram.
Yep.
So go and have a fucking geeze and then just leave us whatever you want. But we love hearing
Love
from
them.
the
I love how
bedwetters.
most of them are like driving in the car.
Yeah, correct.
So they
Yeah.
obviously listen to the pod in the car.
Yeah.
Well, that's us done for another week.
Yep.
Done and dusted.
What a ripper.
No singing from me.
That is.
Oh,
But you did. Yeah, there was actually a fair bit of singing from you.
Creed.
Creed and
Do
some
we
other
count that
things.
as singing?
Yeah, but there was also a few more SpongeBob fucking sounds that I think me and the respective bedwetters won't be too happy with.
Let's gather around the campfire. Sorry. All right. And we're done.
Thanks, guys. Love
Ciao,
yous.
ciao.
Hooroo, hooroo.